Starting in this call again. Sorry? So in this call again, it's not this what you said. Very nice talking. Okay. Here's the link. Which is in the which call is this? I will do the format. Now I will okay, I should leave the place and then please. Okay, and then your life now. So there's a link I'm going to share to personally. I share to mail to share to the group. You don't need to share to the group where the group of my audience. So they can just see if they want to through that process to make it quick and then that's everything. My design is ready again, right? How many do you have there? Aside the one on the shan. Sorry? Aside this lady, Valerita, then speakers. Okay. You want the participants to. Right. So we'll go live in I don't know, are you guys ready? On Sunday, on Sunday. I think you can share it with me. So you don't need to join the room. No. Once they click the link, those questions, and once they click it, those directly to this platform here. Oh, and like those. The formal link. The formal link will also work, but that formal link will take them to your channel. They will not see the live video page. The particular link takes them directly to the live stream. Oh, you understand? Once they go to your channel, they will see the live as well. So yes, we are ready. If you're ready, just I've seen this already. Ready now, okay? Okay. One.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the maiden edition of Female Journalists Initiative FJI, and a happy new one to everyone. Welcome to July. I'm going to be the moderator for today, and I am Ikwejamu for Queen Mary. Like I said earlier, welcome to the maiden edition of Female Journalists FJI. With the theme Building a Solid Foundation, we as journalists in this 21st century, or the upcoming journalists in the 21st century, don't have a foundation, and we are here to build a foundation, to know what the do's and don'ts are. And we warmly welcome everyone, the guest speakers, the participants, everyone. You are all welcome to this maiden edition. And I'm going to be introducing our guest speakers for today. First, we have Mr. Lekon Otufodoyin, and we have Mrs. Juliana Francis. You're all welcome to this meeting of today. Thank you very much for wanting to be here and for wanting to impact knowledge on every upcoming journalist. I also want to welcome the brain behind the FGI initiative. It's not easy to have an initiative these days and want to do everything within your power to make it work. So I also want to welcome the brain behind this initiative, Mrs. Temitope Obayen. Thank you very much for wanting to impact knowledge into everyone. And without much ado, we are going to start with the program today. But we need to ensure that all our participants are online. So If you are online, please let us know that you are online, because this program is starting off and it is kicking off. And as you join, as you connect, please don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe to this initiative, because this is not going to be the last of it. Thank you for wanting to join us. You're welcome, Mr. Bayendo.
So good morning, everyone, and happy new month to you all. I'm so excited to be here this morning. After a long planning, programming, and
We're not hearing the voice. We're not hearing her.
just hear me, okay?
She's muted, I guess.
Okay. Can you hear me
Can you
now?
hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you, and
thank
good
you, and good
morning,
morning,
and happy new
and
month
happy
to
new month to
everybody.
everybody.
The pleasure being
Pleasure
here
being
today,
here today,
and I'm the most
and I'm the most
excited person to
excited
be here
person to be
because
here because
we've been
we've been
planning,
planning, we've been programming,
we've been
we've been
scheduling a lot of things
scheduling a
to
lot of
ensure
things to
that
ensure
this program
this
holds.
program
So
holds. So
since
since 1st of
1st of
July
and the
and
first half of
first
the
half of
year
the
is
year is on, second year is
second
the
half of the
second
year
half
is
of the year is
starting,
starting,
and
and
incidentally, our
incidentally our
program is starting today.
person today is a good one for us. So I really welcome all our applicants. Mr. Lekon, we welcome you back. We are so happy you're joining us. This is Julian. We welcome you. Please, it's a pleasure having you here. And want to also check with our participants who are joining us, all core members, mass communication core members. I want to know, before I start off, I start rolling up my presentation. I want to find out how many of our participants with us so that you know we actually going with the program as scheduled. So please, if you want our participants who want to indicate, to indicate, because from my end, I'm here to see, you know, some of our participants joining us. Um, okay, we have two of them. Is Ifeoluwa, I call. Ifeoluwa is here to join us. And other members of our WhatsApp group, we have notified them that we're starting. Then I think they should join us at the same time because we can't wait for no man. We are some minutes going into the program. Is Grace here? Is Grace with us already? Though Apple is one of them. So we have to really looking, or I will have loved from we have about 10. Madam Juliana, but she cannot hear, please. Uncle Lekon, can you hear me, please? Mr. Oduford,
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, but sometimes the voice goes off and on, but I can hear you. I can hear you.
ah, okay, my technical person,
I'm hearing you,
maybe voice from your end, let's work at it. Mr. Juliana, hi,
but I'm hearing you, Christopher.
sir. So what's the problem? She's saying she's not hearing us. She says she cannot hear clearly. Please, can you increase the volume of your device? Madam Juliana, can you increase the volume of your device? Try increasing the volume of your device. Let's see how it goes. Okay, our participants, please check at the back end for the participants to join because the time is not friendly. The time is really running. So we need to know how many of them are online already. We can go straight. Do chat them that we are live already. And we are into the program.
Mm,
Madam Juliana,
You've not left now.
it's still not clear,
I'm still hearing them.
but I can hear you. Okay, my presentation. So I think we need to move on in the program. Others will be joining us. We have three participants online present. So as we move on, maybe they're having issues with them. I can they can join us instead. So we're going into home address very soon. Okay. So welcome address will be going live now. Yes. Yes. So welcome to journalist initiative. Um, this is an initiative developed for the training of upcoming journalists for the purpose of empowering them, building their career, their skill in journalism, their media. So it's an initiative intentionally founded for this purpose to build and nurture young journalists, particularly young female journalists, for growth along their career path and to become renowned female journalists. Sure. Next slide, please. Yes, so it is my honor tonight to welcome you to this very important webinar with the theme Building Foundation on Impactful Journalism. A theme carefully chosen to ignite your journey through purposeful storytelling and responsible media practice. Next slide. So, as soon as you are at a pivotal stage in your career. So that's why this is designed to help you understand the essence of journalism that informs, empowers, and transforms society. In a world increasingly shaped by information, the role of journalists, especially women, more crucial than ever. I may shed light the, there's been of advocacy, of movement and pushing for women voice heard in the media. know, for decades back, we've seen that we have limited presence of women in media, in the newsroom, in news reportage, but we have seen that this is not favorable to societal development. So that's why we're coming up with initiatives like this to boost the morale of female journalists, particularly the young, so that they can take their place in the newsroom, in the news, and in the media in general. Next slide, please. So that's the essence of Female Journalist Initiative, FJI. It's a platform dedicated to training and mentoring aspiring female journalists in crafting impactful stories from concept development to final draft. Yes, I continue. This maiden edition is organized in collaboration with the Wole Center for Investigative Journalism, specially designed for female mass communication corps members in Lagos. Yes, next slide. Like I was trying to say in the previous slide, experience has shown that intelligent and ethical journalists are not only respected voices in the community, but they also unlock opportunities, fellowships, local and international awards, media grants, professional growth, and power to influence policy and spark real change. So that informed our decision, our interest in mobilizing young female journalists to take their space, their position in the newsroom, and also in the society. You know, in time past, we've seen that female journalists, after concluding their training in university, most of them they digress from journalism, they don't go deep into journalism. And what is actually journalism? Journalism is for hard, it's for men, it's for this. But over time, we have seen that this is not actually what it is. There are several opportunities, especially for female in media. There are several opportunities we can latch on to, you know, to inform, to impact the society. So it shouldn't be business as usual any longer. I think female journalists should pick up interest because there are, various opportunities, there are grants, there are fellowships, international awards, professional recognition, and the fulfillment in impacting life, satisfaction that comes with impacting life. So female journalists can come up with it and they can really shine and impact their society. So next slide, please. This webinar offers the tools, insights, and inspiration to begin that journey. I urge you to stay curious, stay committed, courageous because the future of journalism needs your voice. Um, so welcome once again, and let's build something impactful together as we embark on this journey. Thank you, and welcome once again. So, next thing on our agenda for our first presentation from our guest speaker. Before he comes up, I'd like to introduce him. Mr. Lekon, most of us call him Lekon because we've known him to be a huge support along their career. He has been several journalists, several media personnel, and he's still doing it because that is his area of specialism now. So Mr. Lekon is a journalist and a media career development based in Lagos, Nigeria. With over 30 years of media industry, experience. Saudou Ouattara is presently the Executive Director, Media Career Development Network, Nigeria, foremost media mentoring and coaching organization. He was former managing editor and Sunday editor at the Nation newspaper. He was also former news and political editor at the Punch newspaper. He's the founder of the Christ and Friends of Thompson Foundation, Monitor Institute, and Berg African Media Fellowship. He's also journalism, a solution journalism fellow. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome Mr. to our training today. He's a media career person and is going to train everybody at all today. I assure you they are going to get the best training ever. If you haven't listened to it, just take a look and you will agree with me at the end of the presentation that it has never been like this before. Thank you. Mr. Leko, welcome on. You can unmute. uh,
Okay, I thank you for the introduction. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. In fact, I can hear you perfectly. There's something wrong
Okay.
from this Senator side, but your voice is very clear. It's like I'm next to you. Senator was voice was blurring. I didn't even hear what she was saying. And I knew she was making a good presentation. Uncle Leto, go on.
So I think the problem was maybe two of you are in the room. But let's go on. Let's go on. So do you have my slide or I use my own slide for my end?
Basic.
Okay. So can I go on? I wait for the presentation.
Yes, the
I also
slide.
have the slide with me.
The slide will come up.
Okay. 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 Okay, so good morning, everyone. I also want to begin by thanking the organizer of this initiative for the well thought out program. I won't take much of your time because she has also prepared the background for why we are doing. My topic is called Uncovering the Truth, Basics of Investigative Journalism. So this is basics. This is not advanced, but as much as possible, it's important that we talk about the basics. So I'm going just to focus on some of the basics and not everything. So can I have the next slide? Okay, so before we talk about it, I think Temitope spoke about the role of the media. I think it's important that we just reemphasize that the media role is to educate, like they say, educate, inform, entertain. And beyond those three thematic areas, the role of the media is to hold government, authorities, institutions, and individuals accountable. Most of the time, we talk about holding government accountable, but there are several other people beyond government. There are authorities at various levels, federal, state, local government, community, institutions, individuals. Even individuals have to be held accountable. It's the role of the press. And the media is supposed to ensure good governance and uncover the truth, which is one of the things that is in the topic of any issue. Next slide. So what has truth got to do with journalism? Essentially, I'm quoting from the Code of Ethics. So every profession has its own code of ethics, and even so, Nigerian journalists have their own code of ethics. And that's why we tell people that if you want to be a journalist, it's one thing to be able to write, it's another thing to understand the code, the things that are supposed to guide you. And so for us, this is part of the code of ethics. It says journalism entails a high degree of public trust. To earn and maintain this trust, it is morally imperative for every journalist and every news medium to observe the highest professional and ethical standard. And in the exercise of this duty, journalists should always have a healthy regard for public interest. You are not publishing for yourself, you are publishing for people, and you need to respect, you need to ensure that what you are giving them is the truth. Truth is the cornerstone of journalism, and every journalist should strive diligently. The emphasis is you should strive diligently to ascertain the truth of every event that you are reporting. It's not that you had, it's about you had and you confirm and you are sharing it. It's very, very important. Next slide. So what is reporting? Reporting is the soul of editorial business. The beginning of everything we do in journalism is reporting. Somebody has to report something before it becomes something else. So reporting is the soul of editorial business, and it's supposed to be done in various ways. I'll talk about some of the ways quickly. Next slide. Before we talk about investigating. So what are the kinds of reporting? These are some of them. Let's go to the next slide. So before we talk about investigative journalism, let's talk about the build-up. So what is normal news reporting? So we say account of an event or happening. So when there's an event, like the picture you are seeing, somebody is there to report. We call it, he stated, people, whatever they said at that program, it's reported, an accurate account. There are assignments that are daily assignments, routine. There's a press conference, there is a launching of a program, there's a book launch, there is a NYC orientation, there is a passing out. All those things are routine events. There are also diary assignments that are scheduled. So those are normal news report that people report, and it's just news. It's what happened. Next slide. So there's also what we call features. Apart from news, there's features. Features is the type of journalism that goes beyond basic news reporting. So news reporting is what happened. Features is supposed to add to it. It talks about storytelling. It involves detailed analysis, personal accounts, and creative story writing style. Unlike news stories, features are not time sensitive and prioritize entertainment information. That what this means is that when it is features, for example, so if it's NYC passing out, the news could just be about what the director general said or somebody said at that program. But when it's features, somebody is telling us what happened, who turned up, the color of the event, the impression of the participants, what they're aspiring to do, and so many details, the location, more details. The picture you are seeing here is the picture of a flood that happened. So the story is that flood happened, but the features is about the people that were affected, the comments they had, the impression of the reporter who went there, who saw what was happening on the ground. So that is features. Next slide. There's also opinion. So sometimes many people confuse all these things together. News is account of what happened, what was said, what you saw. Features is an expanded news where you give more other details. Opinion is your personal opinion. It's what you think about a thing. You don't like this president because of this. That's your personal opinion. That is not news. That is not features. This is just your own opinion. And so there's also room for people to have their opinion about issue and they write about it. But again, even talk based on truth, because you can't give an opinion on based false premise. So it's important to understand the distinction. Next slide. And this is human interest. So there's also human interest write-ups that people report. So things that happen to people. This picture is about a woman who went to vote and she had time to be breastfeeding the daughter or whatever, the child. And that's something that's about human interest, things that beyond the normal thing that people are saying. People do many things that are not in Abuja, that are not Asorok, they are not government, but they are lives of people, how people are making it, why people survive different circumstances, and people want to learn from it. Next slide. So here we are talking about investigation, which is the focus of our presentation. It says investigative journalism is a form of journalism in which reporters deeply investigate. The emphasis, deeply investigate a single topic of interest, such as serious crimes, political corruption, or corporate wrongdoing. The emphasis deeply is not superficial. It goes beyond the news. It goes beyond what you are saying. You are asking so many questions. You are looking for documents. You are verifying, and you are hoping to unravel something. That is what we call investigating. Just like investigation, it takes time. Next slide. Next slide. Hello, I can't see the next slide. Okay, so these are more definitions, and they are all saying the same thing. Journalist is a man or woman whose profession is to discover the truth and to identify lapses. The slide is off. I can't. Okay, so identify lapses. It's also about, and a journalist dig deep. So all the emphasis about digging deep into an issue and understanding it and revealing what people don't want other people to know about. And that is why it's deep investigation. A lot of questions. Next slide. Next slide. So what are the examples of investigative reports? Next slide. So these are some of the examples. So it could be an original proactive process that dig deeply into an issue or topic of public interest. Maybe an issue is of public interest and you want to dig deep. So I give an example. For example, drug abuse is something that we all talk about by youths. So cultism in secondary school. So somebody can do an investigation to reveal what is the cause of drug abuse. Why are many young people going into drugs? Why are you seeing many people on every street gathering and drinking all those kind of things they're doing? Then cultism in secondary school. It used to be that cultism was in higher institutions of universities, but today even in secondary school, what is the cause? How did they get into it? Who are the people behind it? So that could be an investigation from that public of interest. Then it could be producing new information or putting known information together to produce a new insight. So sometimes things have been happening and people just want to know what is new about it. So for example, performance of students of public and private school in JAMB. We all write JAMB and people spend a lot of money sending their children to private school. Some people go to public school. And JAMB results comes out and you begin to see that even people in public schools who are not exposed to those kind of higher education are able to perform well. So you can do an investigation to produce new information. What is it? You are putting together new insights. You are helping people to understand why things are the way they are. I keep saying the emphasis of investigation is to bring out something new. If your investigation does not reveal new things, it is not an investigation, it's just a feature. So then the next one is multi-source using resources. So sometimes people team together across countries, across even a nation, even within the nation. You can team together. There was what you call Panama Papers. It involved media organizations across the whole world. And they investigated different parts of the issues and they came out with a lot of reports. So investigation can become a teamwork that people do. Then revealing secrets or uncovering issues surrounded by silence. There are many things that we know, but sometimes nobody is talking about it. So I gave an example. There was a time there was this report about admission racket in LASU. So people know that those things were happening. But somebody say, okay, let us find out. Why are people not talking about these things? Perhaps some of the people who are in authorities are also involved. So investigation will reveal that kind of a thing. Next slide. The examples again, looking beyond individuals at fault to a system and process that allows abuses to happen. So one of the problems about JAMB is that, for example, people have been saying that the process itself is a major problem. This process of maybe because some of us we grew up when JAMB was very manual, but today they use also people can investigate the problem with JAMB admission process, the way they do the exams. There's a trending story recently, for example, about a student who graduated from maybe one university. He was about to graduate. They are saying that maybe his admission about 5-6 years ago, JAMB is saying it was fake. So what kind of system allows that kind of a thing that waits for those numbers of years? When you dig into it, you get a story that is investigative. Because like you hear later, investigative is not until you go underground. There are basic things that happen around us that you can investigate. You can bear witness, investigate ideas as well as fact. Undercover. So people talk about that. Getting admitted into hospital to know the lapses. It's possible to investigate without going, but sometimes when you are an active participant, and these are some of the very dangerous perspectives and so on. So undercover, we've had instances where people get admitted into hospital as patients, and they talk about what is really, really happening. There was a journalist in this country, his name is Fisayo. He got arrested, he went into a cell, and he had to talk about it. Those are higher levels of investigation. but in everything you can do. We have somebody who enrolled for WAS exam, sat as a student in a special center and wrote about what they do inside the special center. You can't write that kind of story if you are not there. So, and recently there was somebody who enrolled in a university in Benin Republic and graduated within I don't know how many months or whatever, and got an NYC certificate. So those are very deep. And the last point here is that investigation is not only about bad news and not necessarily undercover. There are many things that people need to explain. Why people are even doing well. What does it cost? So those are the things that we should take note of. Next slide. Next slide. So what are the sources of investigative reports? How can you get investigative reports? We say you have to think deeply. So number one, news reports that needs to be investigated. All the stories that are reported every day, sometimes you need to follow them up. So they report that there is fire, there is always accident on Otedola Bridge. So somebody can say, okay, so they have reported that this accident happened, 5 people died, but it keeps happening. So somebody can investigate. What is it about that location? Is it because it is slippery? Is it because there's something that needs to be done there or whatever? So it could be a news report. So an ordinary news report can become an investigation. Then issues of public interest I've mentioned, things that people are concerned about, you are investigating it. You could be tipped off. Somebody can tell you that this thing is happening in this place. Can you go and investigate it? People are paying money to change their NYC location. How does it work? Somebody tips you off. It tells you those people to go after. Observation. You may need to be, and that's one of the attributes of being a journalist is that you must be observant. Sometimes you are even walking along the street and you are perceiving a bad odor from a particular house. The question is, what exactly is happening inside that house? You can observe. You can see things. So it's important. Documents, lawsuits, legal document, regulatory. So all those things, and that's why when you get it, you are able to look through it. You are seeing when figures are not adding up, and you can ask questions. Very, very important. Then scrutiny of government and business practices that affect. So you find last mile in Lagos, for example, they are chasing vehicles, they are arresting people, and so many things are happening. What kind of process is that? You can investigate. You can look at the law that sets them up. Does it allow them to do what they are doing? Are they even violating their own law? And you reveal those kind of things. Those are some of the sources that you need to keep in mind. Next slide. Website and social media. So these are days of social media where there are many information that are available online, on social media, on handles, things that people share that you can investigate. Sometimes people just make some harmless posts, but you can investigate and discover there is more to it if you are observant, if you are following the thread, the questions that people are raising, and that's very important. Then interviews with on-record sources, as well as some instances, interviews with anonymous sources, non-governmental organization, and civil society. So like we say that people can tip you off, or when you ask questions from some people, they can point you in the direction of things that you can investigate or give you documents that you can follow up. Then federal, there is the use of FOI, which is also very, very important. Next slide. I'm beginning to round up. Next slide. So these are qualities of investigative journalism. You can look through later. Curiosity, passion, and every other thing. I'm seeing that it's in 12 minutes to round up, so maybe I'll do that before that. So you see curiosity, you must be courageous, you must have exercise discretion, research and writing that you must be able to do. Next slide. Okay, I think that's the end of the slide so that we can take some questions. Like I said, this is just basics. If you understand this, then we can begin to go into deeper issues of writing. But if you get this well, you can really make an impact. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Taleko, for doing. Like I told you that if you have listened to him, if you have opportunity to listen to him, you will always want to listen to him. He's a nice one. He has given us the basics of investigative reporting, and he's told us we need to look beyond what we are seeing. We need to dig deeper to get insight, to get figures why things are happening, and the features of an investigative reporter. You must be curious, you must be inquisitive, you must be asking why. You just don't take things for granted. Okay, this thing is like that, and allow it to go like that. No, you must be curious, you must ask questions, ask and ask until when you get what you are looking for. So the presentation of Mr. Opportunity to us, we are going to be sharing with our participants as after the program they can digest it and also reach out to him or myself after the program. Like we mentioned, FJR is for training and mentoring of young female journalists. So it doesn't end here. This is just the main edition of the training. We have more training to come in subsequent months. And this one we have had now is just the beginning. So, and we can always entertain questions after that. So, we'll have a short break after this before the next speaker, Mrs. Juliana, coming up with her own presentation. So, let's stay tuned and keep watching. And for those of us that are joining the channel, please like subscribe to the channel because we'll be coming up to the channel in subsequent time. Thank you once again for doing. Please keep um, stay tuned. Questions will come. We'll answer question and answer after the presentation of Dr. Juliana. So those of us that have Mr. please keep written down, written down, and you have opportunity to ask questions after the next presentation. Thank you for participating. So we have a short after this.
Everybody ends the call. Just press the red button. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. So now this one now is like this. Okay. You just come top snake. When you break, just come top snake. Just stay come here. You end to. So now I'm going to put so where is it? So you do the last one. Okay. Okay, yes, since you're not using this anymore. So she knows how to share the link. Yes, yes, she knows how to do it. The link now, this new link now, they will be asking to join. Remember, so you'll be admitting them. It's not a new link that I sent you. No, not for you're admitting them. One thing I want them just from now. I've sent my own for this system. Okay, so come let me show you what you do next. Well, confused? What you do is ask to join. Yes. So I'm coming. After the new one is live now, you just come back to this and click on YouTube Live.
So when
So
we
that
go on break next time, I'm coming expand on Tom's nail. You don't when someone lets you in. You let me know. I have calling them.
Yes, please. Sorry. Yes, yes. I've called them. Mm-mm. Okay, which one is this that is showing? Yes, yes, yes. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Hello?
So this one, I would join, then like connect it up first.
Hello, can you hear Hello, can you hear me?
And
Hello? Hello? Hello, are you with us? Madam Juliana, please join through the link. Have you joined the link? Please join the link. Join the link. Okay. Mr. Tufoduri, you're welcome. Welcome back. You're welcome back. Is Madam Juliana on now? Madam Juliana, can you hear me now?
Oh, wow.
Madam Juliana, are you on now? Sorry for the little interruption.
Something is wrong. Oh, goodness me.
I can hear you. I can hear you. You are on now.
Something is I don't know.
From your end, we can't hear it.
Better. I can hear better now. Something is wrong from
Okay,
your end, my
okay, okay,
sister.
okay, okay, okay. It's network interruption. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. So we'll be having Mrs. Juliana's presentation now, which is the second presentation. So before she comes up, I will tell us briefly about her. Mrs. Juliana Ebere Francis is a foremost crime security reporter in Nigeria, known for breaking stereotypes and glass ceiling with years of experience as a journalist. She's the publisher of securitynewsalert.com. She's also the CEO of Youth Clean Initiative Development, an NGO she has created to facilitate and mobilize youth um, empowerment and youth getting justice for themselves. She's somebody that hates injustice. She likes getting justice as a good journalist for every person. So on this webinar, Mrs. Juliana will be presenting and taking us on a special topic which she will be presenting to us. So I introduce Mrs. Juliana Ebere Francis to you. Welcome on board, ma.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome,
Good
ma.
morning, everyone. So I'll be speaking on margins to mainstream, telling underreported stories. That's what Timothy said I should speak on. So when we talk about margins, what do we mean? We are talking about stories that we tell, but that has not actually achieved the have not achieved or getting to the mainstream. We are just talking about it. So when we talk about the margin getting to the mainstream, we are looking at how we can tell these stories, which we not normally we talk about these stories, we write about them, but easily they are forgotten. That means they still remain on the margin. So we want to look out how to bring them to the mainstream. So, but then how do you decide on stories to write about? How do you decide on stories to tell? What is your parameters to judge a story that is underreported? Because we are in Africa, and honestly, according to the Western world, most of our stories are underreported, even though we think we are doing great. There are so many stories that we think are underreported, even in our newsroom. For example, my MD, when I was with New Telegraph, they felt reporting human trafficking is overreported. But I think it's underreported because there are so many layers to human trafficking. And I'm very passionate about issues that have to do with human trafficking. So then again, it depends on you as a reporter. However, we can look increasing. We can look at subjects like which are actually new. Increasing level of poverty in Nigeria is a story idea, is underreported. Lack of manufacturing companies. Most companies are now turning to these cohorts and churches and worship centers. We have increasing number of graduates. Then bring it, the supposing increasing number of unemployment. That's a story that is also underreported. Insecurity, killing, commerce classes, which is happening every day. We are reporting it, but are they getting to the mainstream the way it should? Human rights violation by law enforcement officers is an ongoing conversation that completely remains at the margin because so many people are afraid to go and do this kind of stories to bring it to the mainstream. Sexual and gender-based violence, which includes human trafficking, child protection issues, the women underrepresentation in newsrooms, women not given enough leadership positions. These are some of leadership, both in governance and in newsroom. These are issues that I think are grossly underreported. You know, when we came up with the national gender policy, women were supposed to be given 35% of native answer, which means there should be a certain number that should be given to them. But up to now, we've not been able to achieve that. That is an issue. That is an issue. In National Assembly, we have 105 men and just 4 women. And even now, are there up to 4 women? If we look at what happened to Natasha. When I was doing a story looking at local government chairpersons, in fact, the number of women across Nigeria that are local government chairpersons, I don't think they are up to 2. They are up to 4. Most of them are just chairpersons. So they are deputy, and when you're a deputy, you cannot make a decision that will impact women. So these are underreported stories that I think we should look at. Because stories that we look at, we have to aim at what the policy can do to actually change the narrative. Go to Rwanda, they deliberately and intentionally legislate women, push women into parliament. And that is why when you get to Rwanda, you will see high representation of women in their parliament. But we are not doing that here, and that is the story that we should be reporting. So, of course, these are the numbers there. 35% of 36 in the rec is supposed to be 126, but there are only 40 women there, which means we need 126 women if we are looking at the 35% level. But it's not playing out. So these are stories we should be writing about. And then they now say, we want to help women. We want to project them into governance. So they now say, okay, let's give them free form. Let's give them free form. Why the man should just buy their own 100 million form? Think about it. How many women can afford 100 million for a form? So that is automatically with that money, you've already taken that position away from her. And then the political parties will now say, okay, let's give them free form. Now, the form they are giving for free is like a Grecian gift, you know. They give you gift free form, but they are not going to tell you the position to take. So when they are giving you that, they are telling you position to take, it means they're taking the power of what you want, what the woman wants. So these are stories that I think are underreported. So cases of amnesty for Boko Haram is an issue. Somebody has killed so many people, women and children, and you are giving them amnesty for repentance. And I don't know how that works out. Corruption among political party, politicians, public servants, threats to journalists. These are issues that I think are grossly underreported. Environmental is easy to ask that. If you go to east and north, it's so much there. Erosion, killing people. We are not reporting it or bringing it to the mainstream the way it should be. So, and then rural communities, like when Mr. Leko was presenting, he mentioned about government. People focus so much. Journalists, we focus so much. So I'm speaking to you people as a journalist because you're mass communication graduates. So people, we focus so much on federal government that we forget that we have state government and we have local government, and they collect allocations. We should be asking and interrogating the money they collect. The allocations are collected from federal government. What are they doing with it? It's not just everything federal government, federal government. Let's go to the sub-national. Let's go to the grassroots and especially at rural level, which has to do with the local government. So when you get to the local rural communities, this is where the main issues of underreporting is actually in a large scale. Most of them don't have health. They don't have health centers. Most rural communities in Nigeria, they don't have clean water. They don't have schools. Children trek long distance to go to school. They don't have access roads. Women have to go through training before they give birth. Even in mega cities. In mega city, a place as rich as Lagos State. Lagos is one of the richest among all the states, and yet they still have this kind of issues. Lack of electricity. In Lagos now, we have so many riverine communities where they don't have heat and everything. There was a place I went to. The woman said she was in labor for almost 9 hours, and people couldn't believe it. She said she passed out because there was no health center. I went to a community in Eastern Lagos, that they don't have electricity. I couldn't believe it. In mega city, just like in a rural area of Lagos. So these are the issues, and of course others that we can look at. So Uncle Leko has already mentioned this. How we can search for stories, social media is there, radio and TV. You need to see that on when you listen, you can get story ideas from the newspapers, public places. Once they enter public buses or enter restaurant or cafe, you will see people talking about one issue or the other. If you open your ears wide, and you might be able to actually get such kind of stories to start talking about. Journals, displaced papers, reports, human sources, which are also part of what you get when you go to public places. People are talking, to keep your ears wide open. So to effectively tell these stories, we need to understand simple basics of reporting so that we do not get into trouble. If you are working in a media house, you are not employed to come and get them into trouble to shut down the place. You are working to actually contribute. What are you bringing to the table? Add value to that thing. So your value should not be negative, so that they will not drag the drag the media organization to court, whereby you have there was a time I was sued 2 billion. It's like I wanted to bring down the media house, isn't it? But that's the truth. This I was sued 2 billion. So you must actually be able to follow the ethics so that you don't get into trouble. Because it's not just you that is getting into trouble, it's your company if they sue you for libel or they start dragging you with slap. That's a problem that might cost the company money. So simple ethics, things that we should do. Be whatever whatever story we are telling, let's verify our information. Be accurate before publishing. Be accurate before publishing. Be fair and objective in your report by getting all sides. And peradventure, you discover that you've made a mistake by the time you publish. There's nothing wrong in admitting that you were wrong. Another ethics in the job is that people that give you information, you have to protect them. You can't say because you want to write story, then you have to get somebody into trouble, especially civil servants, especially for those of us who work in security gigs. If somebody that is working in staff of ESCC or DSS or police gives you information, of course, you know you cannot mess up that stuff because you might get the person into trouble and the person will lose his job. So then another ethic is that you have to protect the identity and images of children in conflict with the law. And this is a this is a subject on its own that we can take the whole day to discuss, but we are not going to do that. Children in conflict, people will tell you that publish their name, publish their faces because they are in conflict with the law. And what do I mean by they are in conflict with the law? It means they've done something wrong. A child robber, I have interviewed a child robber who is 10 years old. He was arrested for robbery. Then you have seen children. There was a particular story of a girl that came with a knife to school and she stabbed her classmate. That classmate died and people were floating her picture all over the place. And I was telling them that it was wrong. That people are doing it doesn't make it right. We should work according to the ethics of the job. You don't share the image of children, even though they are in conflict with the law. You protect their images, protect their identities. Then you protect images and identities of women and children that face sexual violence. These are elementary things. Then if we are reporting issues like suicide, this is a new thing now in reporting. There is a special way you report suicide. You don't go and start writing, oh, he in your headline, man committed suicide. Oh, shocker! A woman committed suicide in church. This, that. Like when you say he or she committed suicide, you are criminalizing the act as if the person has done something wrong. But now you've been made to understand that somebody that takes to killing himself or herself is because the person has a mental health disorder. So somebody that is sick, you cannot criminalize that person. And that is the new modern way of reporting suicide. And you have to be very, very careful when you report it. And this is another issue again that I don't want to go into because it has a lot of legs, a lot of like an octopus. You have to know what to say, what not to say. Like he cannot start in suicide reporting. He cannot start talking about the instrument that the person used in killing himself or herself. But then that's a story or a discussion for another day. So as another ethics of the job, do not blackmail, do not extort people. You will say, if you don't give me money, I will write this to you. You get into trouble. You don't need that because that is a fast way. You want to make quick money, but it's also a fast way for you to die because you can be killed for that. So respect yourself, your dignity, your integrity is very important. Then censorship. You are writing a story, censor yourself. Don't cause communal clashes. Don't cause ethnic war or don't incite people. Don't play to the gallery by agitating people's emotions. And some few weeks ago or months ago, I saw a story headline. Headline. I think is it 13 or 12 North farmers, hunters were killed in Edo, and they put the community that the thing happened. Now that is what they call media lens training. That means you have actually narrowed the thing down to that particular community in Edo State. You want people to go there and carry out reprisal. They can kill everybody there, and that is how communal. You can easily say that, oh, 10 hunters were killed, or 12 hunters were killed, or 13 hunters were killed. You don't have to say northern hunters, and then you now say Europe the community. That's as crazy. You are actually picking up, but you don't need that. You're a journalist. You're supposed to have information, not actually give of the politics. So what are practical ways to write stories? And an aspect. Okay, we are talking about most underreported stories that remain in the margin are from mostly rural communities. So let's say, for example, there's a rural community that you went to, and there is no hospital. So there's no health center. How do you write that story? You go to the community, there's a leg that is a part of your leg board. Practical way to write about it. You speak with women, especially women, especially mothers, and then before you speak with the residents. When I say mothers, they are the nursing mothers there, you know. And when they community whereby, before they can give birth, they have to enter cane. So some of the women end up giving birth in the cane. So women are always at receiving end of a community where there is no health center. Speak with mothers there. Find out how pregnant women used to cope during labor. Find out if any.
Mrs.
Juliana,
Juliana,
Hello.
yeah.
yeah.
Mrs.
Francis,
Francis,
are
are
you
you on?
on?
I think
I
our
think our
network is
network is
disconnected.
disconnected.
I think so. Let us give her some few minutes. Maybe she'll come
Yes,
back
Yes,
yes,
on.
yes,
yes.
yes.
The
Our
network is
network is
I'm
struggling. She was
struggling with
struggling
it.
with it initially. I think she'll come back. Let me reach out to her.
That's it. I'm trying to connect again. I've
Yeah,
just
I've
reached
just
out to
reached
her
out to
now.
her now.
I think
I
she's
think
trying
she's
to
trying to
connect back.
connect back.
Sorry for
Sorry
the
for the
interruption. The
interruption.
network
Network issue.
is trying
She's
to
trying to
connect back.
connect back.
Okay, questions, right? You said questions. Sir,
Sir, Mr. Otufoduri, you said we can have
So
questions, right?
if there are questions to
yes,
so that we
yes,
can,
yes, yes.
since we have
It's just that
limited time.
it's true,
When
true, it's
when
true.
she comes, I'll stop. Okay.
Yes, yes.
The
The
event
event
ended.
ended.
No,
No,
we
we
can't.
can't.
So you
So
can
you can
actually
ask
ask.
the question.
Okay, sir. Like I introduced earlier, I am Mary and I am a female
Okay.
corps member.
She's here.
Oh,
She's
she's
here.
back. She's back.
Juliana is here already. Okay.
I'm sorry about this. I don't know what happened. I thought Temitope logged me out because I was taking too long.
Sorry about that.
So find out. So find out. Hello.
We
So
can hear you.
another practical way to write is impactful stories. Find out the people that have died, how they died. Is it because of the healthcare is not nearby? Then how much is allocated to the local government chairman? You know, how much per month, how much per year. Then you calculate it to see how much the amount of in a 3 or 2 years, how much that man has collected and that he has not been able to build health center in that community. Then you look at what the data is saying about importance of health center and the death that can be averted if there's a health center. Then find out in that community how many projects that local government chairman have done, in the last 3 to 5 years. So because it's possible they could have changed them, but you still look at the totality because it's the office you are looking at and it's the money involved you are looking at, you know. Then try to see and juxtapose the importance of the project that is carried out in that community as against a health center for the people and for nursing mothers there. When you juxtapose it, then you look for expert sources. Let men and women talk about local government allocation. Let them talk about health care. Let them talk about mothers and children's death in Nigeria, especially looking at the grassroots. Speak with bridging contractors. Let them tell you, oh, this the local government has spent, okay, let's say has spent 10 billion in the last, they collected 10 or 15 million in the last 5 years, for instance. And then you ask the contractor, how much do we need to actually build a health center for these community people to check death rate? It could be that at the end of the day, maybe you just need maybe like five. So you see, to the mainstream and let people start talking about it because you brought out so many things. So you can also get other people to jointly publish with you. If you're interested in bringing your story to the mainstream, you should not worry about byline. You should not be worried. It's only my actually no. Try to share so that other people can start talking about it. Share to social media and the rest. So this is to share to. You can even do podcasts. That's what young people Gen Z are doing. Though I don't even know how to do it, but I see it, and I think it's actually and super interesting way of telling stories. So issue of policies and changes is when you talk this kind of a story that of course that we can start thinking about changing policy, and that is what stories are all about, especially investigation. What I just showed you, practical ways of doing stories that people are always talking about in the margins and bringing them to the mainstream is mainly investigation. You are looking at how to disrupt the norm. Cause relevant authority to make policies that will better the lives of people. If you can get that story across, and somebody start holding the local government accountable, they could actually build a hospital or a health center. And that is what we talk about policies changes. For example, what are the kind of policies that have happened in Nigeria? Before we used to talk about circumcision. We used to write about it, the danger, but now it became an issue some years back to the extent that there is even some laws now against it. Before your sister will get married and they will just carry the last born in the house and give to your sister. She will now start using her own blood sister as a maid, and you will not allow her younger sister to go to school because she wants her younger sister to be nursing her children for her. That is what part of the reason we came up with NAPSI. Now, those are issues that were discussed then that used to be the norm, but now they have become issues of policies. Women representation, I talked about national gender policy. That is part of the issues. And then I was there are some present day stories that has happened that is causing kind of changes too. Mr. Lekon mentioned this story. He mentioned it just as he was talking. The Audu, woman Audu, the reporter that went to the University of Benin Republic, got a degree in 6 weeks and even participated in NYSC. It has never been done before. And so many civil servants, government workers, they are going to that school, they will quickly go, get that certificate, go for NY, and then they will use to present that certificate, they will promote them, they are using it to collect salary, they are using it to sit in big offices. And when this story broke out, there were a lot of ripples, there were a lot of changes. That is issues, policy changes. And and at the end of the day, there was an embargo. Nobody, no certificate from that school will be recognized. Stanton Folarin, he's now an editor with the Punch newspaper. Before he became an editor, he was a reporter. He did a fantastic story on an institution, Federal Institute of Industrial Research in Lagos, here in Lagos. And there was this particular man that was giving everybody headache there. He said he should be the next director, the next director.
She's still on. Madam Juliana,
Hello, can you hear me?
Just
I can hear you. Please,
now
you
we
have
can hear you.
5 minutes more.
I can't hear you. Oh,
5 minutes more. 5 minutes more.
okay, 5 minutes more. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so and Sharon too did a fantastic story, and so for you to do a fantastic story, you need to have determination and patience. You need to read other people's reports, have a nose for news and for information. Be curious, ask questions. You have to be bold, daring, but not stupid. No story is worth your life. Don't be stupid. Be unbiased and honest. And then, of course, be passionate about issues. That passion that will push you to want to do more and expose more things. Thank you very much.
So much, Madam Juliana. You've given us an in-depth view of how to get um, um, the margins to mainstream, the stories on the margin, the underreported stories. As in, if you have listened to her from the beginning of the presentation, you will have, your eyes should have been open to areas from where you can get stories. As in those stories that are, marginalized, the women, the children, the people in politics, environmental, rural community, several areas that you can get stories, and the news sources also for our core members that you struggle with getting stories, sources. You go to social media, you go to news, you go to the newspaper, and what have you. You can always get stories there. So thank you so much, Madam Juliana. I know the time is so long, short on your side. So we have time for questions now. Questions. If you have questions, if you have questions, okay, we'll be changing. We'll have a little break now. Then please write your questions. A little break now before we take the questions, and then you can have time to ask your question. So our speakers, you can take a glass of water, you can sip a little water while we go on a short break. Then we'll be back to ask questions. Just in 3 minutes we'll be back.
Okay. Are we changing the link or still the
Yes,
same?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, send it. So for our speakers that are on the Google Meet, we'll drop another link. You can join the link once we drop it on our speakers platform.
Yeah.
Okay. In a few minutes, we'll be back with a new link.
Mhm.
Are we done?
Sorry.
Are we done for today?
No, 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 we are not done. We are changing.
Thank you very much.
Madam Juliana,
Is it not? You don't know how to do it. You've seen it. You've seen it. It is phone. And you have done the link. Oh, your time is going. Mm-hmm. It's such an experience. Okay. Okay. Sent it.
Sorry? This is the old one. How do I leave it to create another one? This is the old link. How do I leave this one to create another one? Okay. So what do I do here? Change it to YouTube live. Do I switch off this? Hello, can we hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
Okay, sir. So I am Mary, a female core member and an intern journalist. So my question for Mr. Lekon Otufodurin is, when you were making your presentation, you said that we have to be very practical in whatever it is that we are doing. But we as the upcoming and that we're still learning, we really don't know much yet. Um, how do we how do we bring the theories that we have learned in school and everything into real life? How do we practicalize everything that we have learned? Because basically, all we have are the practical knowledge. We don't have the sorry, what we have are the theoretical knowledge. We don't have the practical knowledge. Say, for instance, since I started my to serve, I've been having to probably write news, source for stories, and sometimes it can be very brain taxing because even the simple English that I know before, all of a sudden I can't seem to find them. Imagine wanting to look for transport and I don't know how to spell transport just while trying to write the news. It has been very hard. So, how do you think we can, as intern journalists, bring everything that we have learned theoretically into the practical world? Thank you, sir.
Okay, quickly, my answer is that Well, it's unfortunate that the sequence of maybe your training up to NYC did not address those issues. One of the things that we are telling schools these days that we are seeing, I'm not sure what course you read. If it's mass com, was it mass com?
Yes, sir. I read Mascom, sir.
Okay, so it's unfortunate that mass com school are not also up and running because what I'm aware of is that many people who didn't even study mass com, they get engaged in campus journalism. They do a lot of campus work that prepares them for the industry. So but if that is not the case, the most important is that you just need to start where you are. Like Juliana or somebody was saying, was that you need to read what other people have published. For you, the best way to learn how to write is to read and practice it. Do it more regularly. Read when your stories are edited, read what is edited and learn from it. We all started from ground one. I read mass comm myself. I was an intern before I graduated. I did some internship, and now I started working. The first job I got, they didn't ask me what is communication or what are the theories of communication. They asked me to go and bring a story. So now that you're already in it, the thing is to immerse yourself in it. Read other people's writing. Read good newspapers. Read the ones that have been published on your platform before, so that consciously you will develop those things. It's not difficult. It's about practice making perfect. And that's it. You will find all those grammar you are looking for. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ozu, for the very smart and detailed response to the question. Yes, we have other questions on the call. Other participants that have questions for our speakers before we call it a day. Other questions. There.
While we are waiting for other questions, one advice I also give young people is that even your social media platform, you can use it to begin to perfect your writing or to exercise. You go to a small assignment, write something, write 2 lines, put on your Instagram. Those platforms are for practice. It's
Can you
not
ask?
just when you get into the office. So basic things, pay attention when you are out, look at some of those things, and I think it will help you to begin to practice very well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Ozu, for the addition to the answer to the question. Yes, we have a question for Mrs. Juliana from one of the participants written on our platform. It said in this 21st century that our freedom to speech is really not free. How do we report these cases without causing problems? Mrs. Juliana, can you hear the question?
I heard you. But you have to realize that if you want to be a journalist, one of the things, attributes of a journalist in Nigeria is that you have to be very daring, you know. We can't live in fear, so you have to be very, very daring. Because if, as a journalist, and that's what I tell most of my interns, you cannot keep building obstacles in your mind. Or that means psychologically you've already defeated yourself. That means you've already told yourself that you will not be able to achieve that investigation or the story you want to write about. So, and mind you, fear fear is the greatest landmine for a journalist. If you keep having fear of doing a particular story, you will never move forward. We say that there's no story worth your life, but that doesn't mean that there are no other story that impactful story that you can write without making impact. Stories have layers and categories, just like Mr. Leko said. He told you that there are some people that went undercover to go into police cells and go into hospital, and he said that is a deep level. So it depends on which level are you talking about. Are you talking about just writing normal stories and then you get into trouble? Most of my interns, they don't even want to go out to go and get stories. They're always scared. And I understand. And I get it because there are new people there. But don't bring fear. Don't psychologically defeat yourself. Start first. When you start, there are so many mentors around you that will guide you. The editors are there to guide you. They will not push you into the fire. Now, if there are certain people that you think you cannot approach, the FOI is there for you to speak with them. When a story is dangerous, your editor will know, and they will know how to guide and protect you. For now, don't start bringing fears into your heart, or it will be a hindrance for you to be achieving what is out there waiting for you to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Juliana. Yes, participants of all, you have heard it. Don't build blocks against yourself. Don't create hurdles. Be as free minded as possible and hunt for what you are looking for. Don't be afraid. Don't be timid as a journalist. You have to be very bold and courageous. So go out for the facts you are looking for. Don't be defeated before stepping out. So you have heard it all. Be intentional, be determined, be purposeful in your search for facts and in your investigative journey. So, on this note, we will be bringing it to a close for our maiden edition of the Female Journalist Initiative Training FJI for female journalists. And a big thank you to our guest speakers, Mr. Lekon Otufoduri of the Media Career Network. You've been a big support, a backbone for us. We are very grateful, sir. And Madam Juliana Francis, a big sister indeed. We thank you for the insight, for the time taken, for the presentation, and for elucidating on what we need to do to expose and bring up the underreported stories. So we are very grateful, and we hope to partner further in this our journey of training. Excuse me, young female journalists. Yes, it's not a day's journey, it's a continuous thing. We keep going, questions keep coming on our platform, on our WhatsApp. We encourage, we entertain questions. If you come across any issues you are confused about in your journalistic investigative journey, bring it up on the platform, call my attention to it. I will address it. If I need collaboration on attending, I can always call for our partners, and then they will be on ground to help you. So a big thank you once again to everyone that has made this edition of our training a success, a possibility, and we hope to see you next time and to join and make it a success. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day, have a wonderful month of July,
Okay.
and enjoy the rest half of your year. That is July. Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
can leave. God bless
Thank you. God
everyone.
bless
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Bye. Have a good
Thank
day.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Bye.
Yeah, we have got a practice of what it takes to organize program online. And in between our